Over a 10-year period, I was a wildland firefighter for both the U.S. Forest Service and National Park Service. Many varied experiences doing just about everything in fire except jumping out of airplanes. Primary tactic is to corral fires by creating an unburnable line around them. You encircle the whole fire perimeter with a trail built to mineral soil, nothing burnable there. And then you start burning inside that line to kind of rob the wildfire of any fuel to burn. So you use hand tools, shovels, and Pulaskis or rakes. You can use heavy equipment like bulldozers or plows. Then you add in the air show with helicopters and planes dropping water retardant. And when you get those different crews and parts working together, that's when it's very effective. But you don't really put out the fire. You put a fire line around the fire, and over time, the fire will just kind of burn out of any burnable fuel.
The overwhelming majority of wildfires are extinguished quickly, and the LA County Fire Department is one of the most elite fire suppression organizations in the world. If anyone can put out a blaze before it reaches communities, it's them.
So the threat in Los Angeles County, I say that it's probably one of the most dangerous places around because we get the kind of weather that very few places on the earth get. Coupled with the vegetation and the topography, the number of people that we have living here, and it makes for a very threatening environment.
Our air operation here is extremely demanding. We have a complex aircraft. We fly it single pilot. We fly it day, night, under night vision goggle. A very diverse and demanding environment that we operate on, doing a very complex mission. So when you see a fire that is moving towards homes, it definitely puts an added sense of urgency with what you're doing.
There's over 100 cameras in the LA Orange County area, and they've got a camera 365 days, 24 hours a day. They'll be able to pick up a little bit of smoke in a location and then get a response out really quick. The conditions we can fly in and how much water we can drop is unparalleled to any other era of firefighting.
Since 1983, an average of nearly 70,000 fires burn each year in the U.S. Nearly 98% of them are controlled by firefighters before becoming large and destructive to human communities. But dry, windy conditions change everything.
If you haven't been in a wind-driven fire, day turns into night. There's so much particle in the air that you have no idea that it's daytime. And you've got flame lengths 30, 40, 50 feet high, and you've got so many embers being tossed at 50 miles an hour, spotting about a mile in front of you. And to think that you're gonna stop it by putting a hand line or putting a dozer quickly around it, it's not gonna happen.
Strong winds blow embers over even the largest fire line, and air operations become far less effective.
If it's so windy that the water literally isn't even really hitting the ground, then what are you doing other than accepting a large level of risk?
During the Eaton fire, pilots supported the initial attack but were quickly grounded because of strong, chaotic wind.
Due to wind conditions, you're going to be breaking off. All air resources are going to be clearing the incident. Branch 7 copies, aircraft is shut down.
If firefighters can reach a fire before it begins growing exponentially, it can be put out, even in windy conditions. But the window of opportunity is becoming smaller and smaller because fires across the U.S. are moving faster. Over the last 20 years, fires in California have grown 400% faster. We'll find out why later, but with traditional wildland firefighting tactics losing their effect, have we reached a tipping point for wildfire? Or is there still a way to change course? To answer that question, we have to understand another factor that makes these fires so destructive.
Once the homes start to burn at scale, you've already lost. Fighting a structural fire, a first alarm, which is how firefighting resources are apportioned, is at least 15 firefighters for one house. 4 engines, a truck, and a BC is a general response. If one home is burning, Any fire department anywhere can suppress that. At 10 homes, we now need 150 firefighters. If we're going to effectively go in and no kidding put that fire out, we need 150 firefighters and we need them right now because the growth curve is exponential.
Once the fire reaches homes, it changes into something else entirely.
Once you have urban conflagration, structure to structure fire transmission, then all of the things we are talking about from a wildland setting are no longer effective because we're in a fundamentally different fire.
The building itself, the structure can sustain a longer ignition compared to a tree. A tree can burn for, I don't know, a minute or two. A structure can burn for an hour.
It's the contents of those homes and businesses because that becomes fuel. And now we're producing very large, long-burning embers that can fly with the wind to ignite.
When we have dense neighborhoods, we have more cars, we have more fences, we have more sheds.
Now we have two factors that combine to make fires unstoppable: ember cast and structure-to-structure ignition. And under these conditions, the wildland firefighting playbook goes out the window. Air ops is grounded and embers jump the fire lines. So emergency response shifts from firefighting to an all-out race to save lives. And that's exactly what happened in LA.
It was a wildland fire for probably about 4 to 5 minutes. This fire burned straight downhill into structures and then started burning structure to structure. The priority was rescue. So we're gonna take care of life first and then save property as we can. The conditions were so bad that I couldn't see the end of my hood. I had 2 hands come across my hood, put on my brakes. It was a middle-aged lady, and she says, "My dad is trapped in the house. He can't get out." So we immediately ran up to the house, grabbed him, got him out to my vehicle, and our fire personnel and our law enforcement personnel went on calls for service like that all through the night.
You can watch Weathered Inside the LA Firestorm for free on the PBS app and pbs.org right now. Head to the link in the description for more info.